You have this question. I mean, the world is drowning in unpayable debts. And then sometimes people say, like, well, who do we owe this debt to? And then there was like this Irish comedian, I forget his name now, but it was part of his skit. He said, like, well, why don't we find out who we owe this debt to? We kill the bastards, and then we all relax. And that was meant to be a joke, but it's a
You're right. It's a joke, but there's just a lot of
but it
humor.
actually makes a very important point, because if the debts are unpayable, if they're suffocating
they're 19 and trading on
rest, living at a lesser level of prosperity than they otherwise would. And I mean, it's not lesser, it's like dramatically reduced for the debt services and all this. Well, then, and we are supposedly democratic societies. Then I think it would be legitimate that people say, like, well, wait a minute, we're spending a huge chunk of our GDP on debt servicing. Why don't we just renegotiate that? Because they're happy to renegotiate our pensions and our healthcare and everything else in the collective contract. Why are all these debts not up for renegotiation? So I think if you have truly democratic institutions of government, the government could say, like, okay, bondholders, we need to talk and we need to renegotiate this. You need to get a haircut. We need to reduce interest rates on all this, and then we can all get along together and everybody can be happy. But that never ever happens.
Right.
Why does that never ever happen? Well, obviously because the people who own all the debts also also have the monopoly on violence. So if somebody actually tried to move against them in any substantial way, they have many ways to destroy them. As Chucky Schumer would say, they have 6 ways from Sunday to get back at you. And that can be just simply uploading some child porn onto your PC, or it can be
a literal assassination.
it can be up to a little assassination as well. So nobody dares touch them, right? So how do we get from under this? I think it would take a revolution, but so far revolutions have been unsuccessful because through history they have always been co-opted and controlled by the money lending oligarchies. When we had the French Revolution in late 1700s, the revolutionaries kept the debts of the aristocracy intact. So they just overthrew the aristocracy in France, and they had the power of the people behind them. And they could have said, okay, the decadent aristocracy that loaded us up with debt, that's theirs. The new French state based on égalité and fraternité and liberté, we have no debts, we owe you nothing, to the bankers. But they didn't. They honored the debts in full. Then you had the Bolsheviks.
Yeah.
Same thing. And they also do it selectively, because they'll honor the debts of their sponsors, but they will not honor maybe debts of some private banks that they don't care about. And so I kind of tend to think that maybe the savior is coming from the BRICS camp.